Who are you? What's your name? What are you doing here today then?
So my name's Edward Peebles and I'm the captain of Cardiff Merlins Baseball Club. We're currently the only baseball club in Wales. We're competing this year in the South West Baseball League and it's our first year in the league. We formed in January of 2018. We used 2018 as a development year really, where we practiced regularly, played friendly games against teams from Taunton and Bristol. And we weren't in a position to join the league last year, but we got ourselves together, got all the right equipment, got help from the council to sort out our own ground, and then this year we joined the South West Baseball League.
So you've joined the league for the first year. This year it's your first year playing competitively. What's your squad like? How many players have you got? Is there an interest for baseball?
So we find there's a big interest in South Wales. We currently got 18 full members, so we're just about full up right now. We've got a few guys who are interested in joining who we might be able to join. Can I hold it 1 second? Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Shall I be looking at you or at the camera?
Either or, bit of both.
Okay.
Yeah. What I can do is I'll edit between the different bits and I'll cut it into different clips.
Okay.
So yeah, look at me, look at the camera, whatever you feel more comfortable with.
Okay. So we got about 18 full members this season. Got quite a few interested players who are looking to join, but we found there's a great deal of interest in South Wales from people who have been baseball fans for a while and have been interested in playing, but obviously haven't had the opportunity until now because the team wasn't available. So all in all, we've had about 75 or 80 players come to at least one practice to try out the game. So we've discovered that there's quite a big appetite for baseball in South Wales, and we're really hoping that we can help to grow the game here and become sort of the focal point for baseball in Cardiff and South Wales.
So I noticed the other day at a training session you've got there's people from a variety of different backgrounds. You've got people from, I noticed a few different accents. You've got there's quite a multicultural feel to the team.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I mean, baseball is quite a global sport. It's obviously popular in the US, in North America, in South America as well, in the Far East, in Japan and Korea. So we've got a Japanese player, got a couple of guys from North America, some guys from a guy from Germany. We've had players from South Africa on the team before. We've had interest also from players from Australia. So it's quite it's quite a diverse thing. We've got guys from all over the world, plus plenty of guys from Cardiff and the Valleys as well.
So why would you, for someone looking at playing sport, obviously in Wales your big sports, your rugby's, your footballs, what would you say it is about a sport like baseball that people should get involved with something a little bit different? What is it about baseball that you think would attract people?
I think baseball is a really good game to play because it's a team game, yet there's a lot of focus on your individual skills. So the ultimate matchup in baseball is between the pitcher and the batter. The pitcher trying to throw as hard as he can, the batter trying to hit the ball. So you always have that individual matchup, but within that you have positions on the field for just about everyone. You have your fast guys in the outfield chasing down outfield hits, and then your quick, skillful guys on the infield looking to get the guys out. You have spaces for guys who don't run that well, can play first base or catcher, guys who are good at catching the ball. And then the guys with strong arms will be on the pitcher's mound pitching the ball. So it's really, we found guys who've come from a variety of different sporting backgrounds. We've had a lot of guys who've played hockey before, guys who've played rugby, cricket, and just wanted to try a new sport. We actually started out as a group of softball players in the Cardiff Softball League who were all big baseball fans, and since there wasn't a team we decided, well, let's start our own team. So that's how it kind of started, grew out of softball. But as I say, we've attracted guys from a variety of different sports, some guys who are huge baseball fans, as I said, who wanted to play baseball for years but didn't have the opportunity, and then just guys who were just big sports fans and wanted to try something different. And we found that they really enjoy it. It's just quite a big challenge, baseball, because it's a tough game to play, but we see the improvement week in, week out from guys who are coming to practice, and we're already looking a lot sharper than we did last year.
Perfect. So for someone who is, say, watching this and doesn't know a lot about baseball, how would you, if I give you 3 minutes to explain baseball, how would you summarise the game of baseball and how it works in a 3-minute time slot?
Okay. Right, well, basically it's a bat and ball game. The aim is to hit the ball as far as you can and then run around the bases as far as you can. Points are scored by getting runs, by getting all the way around, it scores you a run. If you can do that in one by hitting it over the fence or getting it all the way around in one, then that's called a home run. And then the pitcher is the player who delivers the ball, kind of like the bowler, and his aim is to try and get the batters out, either by getting them to swing and miss or by getting them to hit weak hits which the fielders can field and get them out of the bases. So it's 9 players per team, everyone bats, and then you bat until 3 outs are made, and then the teams swap, and then the team that was fielding goes to bat and the team that was batting goes to field. And a standard game consists of 9 innings, and it takes about 3 hours, 3.5 hours, depending on how high scoring the game is. Yeah.
And then that's it in a nutshell. So from yourself, from a personal point of view, how did you get into baseball? Why was baseball a sport that you got into?
So for me, I've always been a big baseball fan since I was about 22, 23. It used to be shown on Channel 5 in the UK late at night, and that's how I got into it. And I know a lot of other guys who that's how they got into baseball as well, just simply watching it on a Sunday night and a Wednesday night late at night. So obviously from that point I decided I wanted to play. Kept Googling it. The only thing that ever came up were the Cardiff Softball League and Bristol Baseball Club. So eventually I did play softball in Cardiff. It started in about 2011, 2012. Then after a few years of doing that, I still had the baseball bug and really wanted to join a team. So I actually played in Bristol for a season in 2014, I think it was, which was great fun. But I found the travelling back and forth for practices and games to be a bit of a chore. So decided then that I'd like to start a team in Cardiff and play it that way. Of course, it took me a few years to actually get to do that, but when we started, or when we sort of talked about it in the Cardiff Softball League about having a baseball team in late 2017, I decided, I really want to be a big part of that, and have helped get the team together and helped organise things ever since, really.
So going on to how it's gone so far, so you played friendly fixtures last year.
That's right.
You started your competitive league this year. How many games have you had so far this season?
So this season, today is going to be our 3rd league game, and we also had a pre-season friendly against a team from Swansea University. So this is our 3rd league fixture today against Bristol Bats. We've already played Bristol Buccaneers and the Western Jets in our first 2 league games.
And how have they gone for you so far?
So they went well. We lost both narrowly. The first game we lost, I think, 15-11, and the second one 13-10. So they were both very close. Had chances in both games to win them. Few things we can tighten up in on the field to prevent the other team scoring runs, but we showed a lot of improvement in both games, and of course we've got a fair number of brand new players. So they're, for a new team, there are always going to be mistakes made, and we're on a bit of a learning curve. But guys enjoyed it, and we're looking forward to the rest of the season.
So, in terms of the team, how does a standard week look in terms of training, games? How would a standard week go if you were playing for Cardiff baseball team?
So we practice Tuesday nights from 6 p.m. Until about 7:30, 7:45. It's a slightly shorter practice session on a Tuesday because obviously guys are coming straight from work and we haven't really got the time to set up the field properly. So we tend to focus on one thing on a Tuesday night. Maybe we'll focus on pitching one week, or on outfield catching the next week, or hitting or infield. And then we also practice Saturday mornings, which is a slightly longer session when we get out most of our equipment and do some live batting practice as well. So those are our 2 regular training sessions, and then games are always Sunday afternoons. At the moment we're sort of on a once a fortnight schedule for games, but as the season progresses it'll get a bit more towards playing 2 games every 3 weeks, or nearly every week towards the end of the season.
So the league, how many teams are in the league? So
there's 10 teams in the league this season. It's divided geographically for the first part of the season, so we're in the North Division with with Bristol Bats, Bristol Buccaneers and Western Jets. And then there are 3 teams in the Central, which is Taunton Muskets, Yeovil Whirlwinds and Exeter Spitfires. And then 3 teams in the South, which is Plymouth Mariners, Newton Abbot Brewers and Cornish Clay Cutters down in Truro, who we might have to play in the second phase of the season, but that's an awful long way to go for a game. So
be a nice trip.
Yeah, it'll be a long day, yeah.
So the format works. So is it like the way they do it in America? So you have your 3 conferences, divisions, and then it splits into like a main thing at the end based on how you do.
After the first phase, it's going to split into a double A for the teams that finish above 500 and a single A for the teams that finish below 500, meaning teams that lose more games than they win. So I think the way it works, it will be 5 teams in double A, 5 teams in single A, and then those teams will play each other once more, leading into a playoff format, which eventually will lead into a championship game for both single A and double A.
So how many times do you play each of your teams in your division?
So in the division, the first part of the season, we're playing each team twice. So the other 3 teams, so the 2 Bristol teams in Western, we'll play them home and away. So that's 6 games, and then at the end of that, we'll see whether we're in the single A for the teams below 500 or double A for the above 500 teams.
Perfect. So I can edit this bit out. I need about 3 more minutes. Can you think of anything that you'd like to speak about that I can ask you that's worth speaking about that we've not covered?
So I can talk about some of the help we've had from Cardiff
There
Council.
We go.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll ask you that. So you mentioned earlier that Cardiff Council played a big part in helping the team come about. So what role did they play in coming?
So they've been really helpful in terms of providing us with a field to play on. An issue we had last year in our development year was finding a place where we could play that wasn't taken over by football posts until sort of mid-May, which made it a real struggle to find places to practice and to host games. So this season they've actually set an area aside in Pontcanna Fields, as you can see behind me, which we use as our home field, and it's basically available all year round for us, so we'll be able to practice from early April until the season ends in September. Plus the field will also be available for the Cardiff University baseball team, which is going to be their season, obviously, because it's students. They don't play during the summer, they play during the winter from September to April, so they'll be able to use it during the winter. So in terms of availability of field, that's been a really big plus for us. The Cardiff Council have helped us out with that. We also had a lot of help from Sport Wales, who provided us with a grant towards equipment. Obviously there's a lot of stuff you need to host baseball games, backstop netting and outfield fences and bases and batting helmets and all sorts of safety equipment, and Sport Wales last year provided us with a £1,500 community grant towards equipment, which really helped us get off the ground, and we might have actually struggled to get going last year without that. And also this season Monmouthshire Building Society's charitable foundation donated towards our new jerseys, and they provided half the cost towards the new jerseys, which again was really helpful for us, and which is why we're happy to have the Monmouthshire Building Society logo on our jerseys. So just a couple more questions for you. So the first one, what would you say to someone looking at playing baseball? Why would you tell them to join this particular club? What is it about Cardiff Baseball Club that's We're a really welcoming club. I mean, we're a new team. We're looking to grow the sport here. You don't need to have previous experience. Most guys who join the team have not played before. We're just a very friendly, welcoming club. Group of baseball guys love playing sport, and we just look to enjoy the game, and we're looking to really grow Cardiff to be a big force in baseball and the focal point for baseball in South Wales as we look to grow the sports of baseball and softball around here. And final question for you, what are your thoughts about the game today? What do you make of your chances of getting your first win today? The Bristol Bats are looking quite strong. They've won their 2 opening games. We actually played against a lot of their players in the friendlies we played last year, so we know a little bit about them. They've got some strong players, but I'm confident that with the work we've put in practice and the improvements that guys are showing, that we can put on a good show today and hopefully get our first win of the season under our belt. Perfect. Thank you very much, pal. Thank you.